Getting monetized on YouTube was an absolute Christmas blessing for me. It actually happened on Christmas Day. But what I came to realize is that getting monetized was really only the first step through a whole process that we need to go through before YouTube pays us a cent. So, if you're waiting for the money to just magically appear after approval, it doesn't work that way. I have watched a lot of videos on this process and it does not explain it very clearly. So, today, what I'm going to do is go through how long my channel was basically doing nothing and then poof, it all happened pretty much overnight. And that one video that changed everything, what it took for me to qualify for monetization, and then what happens after YouTube approves you for AdSense, and also why fewer views can actually make you more money. And then, of course, I will show you exactly what YouTube has paid my small channel in its first month. And before we start, I want you to know I don't sell anything in terms of coaching or brand deals or memberships or super thanks. I have a few shorts out there basically just to kind of drive traffic to the channel. The only way I make money on this channel is through AdSense. Hi, my name is Lisa, and this is Solo Second Act. This is a channel for Gen X women navigating retirement, reinvention, and starting over on their own terms. So let's dive into how it all started. This is my Solo Second Act channel. As you can see, I don't have a lot of videos. It started with the very first one down here on the bottom left, 5 reasons why Gen X should start a YouTube channel. I basically decided to take the challenge that so many YouTubers out there were saying that if you're over 40, 50, 60, then you should be starting a YouTube channel and talking about your experiences in life. And I thought, okay, I'm a Gen Xer, challenge accepted, let's do it. It was August of 2024 when I started it. And I had 11 videos done. 11, that was it. And none of them took off. But then something happened. In early December, I created a video about downsizing. I had moved into a condo in August, and I decided to do a video about what it was like to downsize into a 55 plus condo. And as you can see from this slide, it didn't take off at first, but around December 18th, all of a sudden it started to gain traction. And that, my friends, was all it took. And what was really interesting was because people were watching that video, they started watching another video on my channel that I had done 5 months earlier on retirement. And between the two of those videos, I basically met all the requirements needed in order to be monetized. So from this slide, you can see that about the 18th of December was when I started gaining a whole bunch of subscribers, 811. And then a few days later, I gained over 500, which gave me the 1,000 subscribers needed in order to be monetized. And then in terms of getting the 4,000 watch hours that are required for monetization, that happened very quickly within that time frame as well. If you notice, around December 18th was when everything started to take off, including those watch hours. And on December the 21st, there were 1,769 hours. On Wednesday, December 24th, there was 2,673 hours. Just those 2 days combined would have given me those 4,000 hours that I needed. But here's the problem. YouTube takes a few days for the system to catch up. So even though I had the required hours of 4,000 before December the 24th, I still had to wait for the system to catch up. And it took a few days, which was really frustrating because by the time I was actually approved to be monetized, I had over 11,000 hours because it took that long for the system to say, okay, you have 4,000 hours, Lisa, now you can be approved. So sometimes YouTube can truly be a lesson in patience. But the system did finally catch up, and I received that beautiful message on Christmas morning saying, "You have been approved to apply for the YouTube partnership program." So I applied early that morning, around 9 in the morning. And by about 7 o'clock that evening, I had been approved. And I was so excited because I was thinking, now I get to make some money. But it doesn't quite work that way, I found out. Just because I was monetized, and yes, I was starting to make money, but I wasn't going to get paid that money until I went through the next steps. So, what has to happen after you have been monetized? First, you need to set up your Google AdSense account. You will either create a new AdSense account or you can just use an existing one. You can get paid from multiple channels on the same AdSense account. I have included the URL for you. This is the account that deals with all of the money, where YouTube sends the money and then it's dispersed to the payment system that you set up. And it's so important that you use real, accurate personal information. And we'll get to that as to why later. The next step is you need to turn your ads on. And this is actually a manual process. You're going to basically just click a button that says, yes, I want the ads on. Just because you've been approved for monetization does not automatically mean that they're going to place ads for you. You have to click a certain button that says, yes, you want to turn the ads on for the videos that you already have and for future videos that are going to be uploaded onto your channel. And if you are making videos that are about 8 minutes or longer, it's really important that you choose mid-roll ads. All of this can be done in YouTube Studio, and I was really happy to see that there's a tutorial in there on how to do all of this. But to be honest with you guys, I also utilized ChatGPT and followed the steps that ChatGPT gave me, and I found that very helpful. Step 3 is you are going to be given a PIN number, but they will not send this PIN number to you until you've earned at least $10. Once you've reached that $10 threshold, then step 4 is unlocked. They will send you a PIN number in the mail. It will take about 2 to 4 weeks for this letter to show up in your mailbox, and it goes to your mailing address. So this is why I was saying it's really important that you use your real information, because you do not want that PIN number going anywhere else except to your mailing address. Because if you don't supply the PIN number that they send to you, you will not get paid. Once you receive that letter in the mail with your PIN, and it really is about the size of a large postcard, then log into your AdSense account, enter the PIN number, and what that means now is that they verified that this PIN number has gone to the correct address, that you truly do live where you say you do. And now your address is verified. Step 6 is that now they need to verify your banking information. So what they will do is give you the opportunity to enter your banking details. You get to choose which payment method you want. You can have it direct deposited into one of your bank accounts. You can use PayPal. You can confirm what currency you want. And then YouTube is going to send you a certain amount under $1, like 1 cent to 99 cents. And that will take a couple of days for it to show up in your bank account. When it shows up, then you go back into your AdSense account and tell them what amount was sent to you, and that will have verified your bank details. So now that your address is verified and now that your banking information is verified, all you need to do is step 7, which is reach that $100 US threshold. Once you hit $100, then YouTube will start putting the money that you've earned directly into the payment method of your choice. YouTube pays out once a month around the 21st to the 26th of the month, and that money lands in your bank account 1 to 3 days later. So I hope that shows you that being monetized does not mean that you're getting paid yet. It means that YouTube has approved your channel to eventually earn ad revenue. So speaking of earning ad revenue, let's get into the numbers. I saw so many YouTube channels talking about when they first became monetized that they were making, $1, $2, $3 a day. And I mean, it all adds up, to $100 a month. And I was thinking, okay, let's do this, right? So with this in mind, imagine my shock when I opened up my YouTube studio on the 26th of December and saw that overnight, because again, I'd only started getting monetized since 9 o'clock that night, that I had made $7. I was shocked. And then the next day, my jaw dropped to the floor when I opened up my account because I had made $75.91 on the second day of being monetized. I was floored. Like, I was thinking, $2, $3, something like that. But $75? I was just so excited. And as you can see from this graph, which I have set from the day that I got monetized to the end of today, exactly 1 month, you can see that the numbers fluctuate a lot from day to day. But I am absolutely blown away by how well this small channel did in 1 month's time. Because guys, in 1 month, this is what my channel made. And remember, this is $1,183.19 USD. And I'm Canadian, so that's equivalent to like $1 million. Actually, it's more like $1,624.94. Does this money replace my regular income? Absolutely not, but I can't tell you how helpful this is going to be. I had to replace my vehicle's brakes and rotors this month, and that bill was like a little over $1,200. So very grateful that this came in when it did in order to be able to help out with that kind of bill. So what were the 2 videos that launched this channel into actually getting monetized? The video that triggered everything was the one on the left. Why I'm downsizing now so my kids don't have to later. As of today's recording, today is January the 26th. This video has over 100,000 views. But here's the really interesting part. The video that was published on December the 2nd actually triggered my older video, Retiring Early at 54, which was published on July the 20th, 2025, which had had absolutely no traction whatsoever. So just to prove to you how this worked, back here on July 20th, you can see like 0 views, and there was 0 views for many, 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 many days. But the other video took off around December the 18th, and it triggered this one to also take off, which you can see around December the 21st was when it really started to get traction. And here is the most amazing part. Even though my top video, the one about downsizing, has received over 100,000 views versus my early retirement one at 94,000 views. It's the Retiring Early at 54 that has made me the most amount of money. It's made $406, whereas the downsizing video has only made 277, even though it has more views. So why is that, guys? Because we're taught to think the more views we have, the more revenue we make. But it's not always the case. Revenue is not just based on raw views. It's actually based on the following: watch time, the minutes watched. Think about it this way. Raw views are like people coming to your door and knocking and saying, "Hello, anybody home?" They could turn around and walk away, but they were still at your house. Watch time, or those minutes watched, is like those people coming into your home, sitting down and actually spending time with you. And it's that amount of time where they actually stay in your video that you get credit for. They call that retention, and that retention is gold. Another factor is audience demographics. One of the best paying audience demographics tends to be people my age, Gen Xers, baby boomers. Why? Because we have time to watch the videos and we have money to spend. So advertisers like our age group a lot. Your revenue is also going to be based on what kinds of ads are being put on your videos. Some advertisers spend more money than others. Any type of ad that deals with finances is going to pay more money. And how many ads you have on your videos also matters, which is why it's really important to make sure that you click that little button that says, yes, I want mid-roll ads. And the last factor is what's known as viewer intent. Basically, this is your niche. Some niches pay more than others. Educational channels, financial topics, they tend to pay more than, for example, children's channels that have a lot of animation. Advertisers are looking for channels that are serving people who have time, have money, disposable income, and have the motivation to buy. So for things like timeshares, travel, anything to do with finance and retirement planning, these are the kinds of things that are going to make some major dollars. So with that in mind, why did my retiring early at 54 video make more money than the downsizing video? A couple of reasons. Because the content was about retirement and advertisers are looking for videos that deal with that demographic of people who would be interested in talking about retirement, and they're willing to pay more money in order to put their product in front of that audience. And the other factor was retention. People watched more of the video. In other words, they stayed to visit longer before leaving. Whereas with the downsizing video, yes, it got more views, but people may have stuck around for just a couple of minutes and then left. And videos that talk about decluttering, minimalistic lifestyles just don't pay as much. So I'm no YouTube expert. I've been at this such a short amount of time and only put out about 21 videos and really only been successful in the last month, but I have learned a few things and I'd like to pass them along. Lesson number one is I learned to be myself, just be my own quirky self, and people are going to take me or reject me, and that's okay, but I just need to stay true to who I am. I have found working online, if you're trying too hard to be somebody else, it's just not going to work. It's not going to feel authentic. And in a time of all this fake stuff happening, I think people are looking for authenticity. So stay true to you. Lesson number two is just keep going. Keep posting videos because you just never know which will be the one that will take off. Lesson number three is realizing that monetization is just a milestone. It is just the beginning. It's an opportunity for YouTube to say, yes, you're doing it. And if anything, it's been a confidence booster that, wow, maybe I'm on the right path and maybe I can actually make some money at this. And maybe people do actually like what I have to say. But that's the way you got to see it. Being monetized is not the destination. It's just the invitation to get in the race. Lesson number four, and I've mentioned this already, but retention and minutes viewed are so much more important than what your sub count is and what your raw views are. Once you hit those 1,000 subs, it really doesn't matter whether you have 1,001 subs or 10,000 subs. YouTube is putting your videos out to people who might be interested in your content based on other things that they've looked at. So it's not always just going to be your subscribers that see your content. It becomes important to hit 100,000 because then you get a plaque. But in between that time, it's really all about making videos that people want to watch from start to finish. And a fifth lesson I learned is turn on your ads for all your former videos. So once you become monetized, it's not just about the videos that you make from here on out. You can go back and actually select the button that says, yes, I want to earn money on these videos. And you can do it for all of your previous videos. Make sure you do that because you could be missing out on some revenue if you don't. I hope this video has been helpful for you and that it's given you a very crystal clear step-by-step. This is what you do to get monetized, what you do when you've been approved, and how you get to the point where you actually get money into your bank account. And I hope it's inspired you to either keep going on a YouTube channel you feel like you might be stuck on, or to start in the first place. And if this video did help you, please consider giving it a like, as in a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. It really does help small channels like mine. And in the meantime, what I want to say to all the people who have subscribed, watched, and commented on my videos so far, I am incredibly grateful. And I want to talk about the comments. They have blown me away. I have been so blessed and grateful that many of you have shared some of your personal stories with me. You've been so supportive and encouraging. And there have been mornings when I've been sitting there with my coffee, writing responses, and your comments have actually made me tear up with joy and gratitude and just taken aback by the kindness of your words. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And please let me know if there is a subject that you would like me to make a video about. They say you can take the teacher out of the classroom, but you can't take the classroom out of the teacher. I really do like doing research and presenting what I find, putting my own little spin on things, and peppering it with my own personal experiences. So if there's something out there you would like me to talk about, please let me know. In the meantime, thank you again so much. God bless. I'll see you later.